Yeah, so after I'd heard that sermon and just found that change in my life from giving everything over to Jesus, I attended that church, the Salvation Army Church in Lismore, for I don't know, it was at least a year or so before I happened to go down to a big Salvation Army event in Sydney at Darling Harbour, and it was at that point that I'd started thinking about my life and what I wanted to do with it, because I guess I was just sort of cruising along. I didn't have full-time work at the time. I didn't know if I should go back to uni or what I should do, and by that point in my life, I guess I'd realised that you can really seek God for answers, and he'll give you direction, and that's what I wanted to do, was to go down the right path and not stuff around with my life anymore. So I happened to go to a prayer meeting one evening, and I was sitting there in Australia with a lot of other Salvation Army people there, and so we were praying and different things, and then whoever was leading it said, just join up with someone else and pray with them about particular things. And I didn't know anyone there, and there happened to be a fellow, I think he was sitting in front of me, and he turned around and introduced himself, said g'day, and so we just prayed together, and then the event finished, said goodbye, and that was it. And I kind of thought nothing more of it. Anyway, the next day, I remember hearing a message about things, and I just remember coming out. It was lunchtime, or near lunchtime, and I remember sitting in this area of Darling Harbour, and I was really just thinking about my life and where I wanted to go. And I just remember again, I cried out to God, and I said to him, what is it you want me to do? Give me some direction here. Should I go to uni? Should I do this, do that? I just really wanted to get the right direction. So I prayed this prayer. I get up, I start walking through Darling Harbour. The next thing I know, this fellow that I'd seen the night before at the prayer meeting that I prayed with, he's standing there and he's calling me over, and he says to me, hey, do you mind if I get your contact details? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why? Why do you want him? And he said, well, after the prayer meeting that night, the night before, he'd gone back to his hotel room, and he'd just been praying, and he was starting a new church in Newcastle, and he'd just really been praying to God about who he wanted to have on his team. And he said that he just kept getting this impression from God that he wanted me on the team. And I mean, he'd met me and spoken to me for, not long at all. We didn't know each other, but he just felt really sure that God had placed me on his heart. And from what I remember he said, it was, he kind of said to God, well, how am I going to see this guy again? And suddenly, our paths cross, and he's telling me that, he wants me to be on this team in Newcastle, and he was going to send me some information about it. But as soon as he started, telling me that, I was kind of like, mate, I don't need the information, I'm there. And that was because 2 minutes before I bumped into him and he was telling me this, I'd asked God for direction. I'd asked God, where do you want me? And it was just like, boom, I wish every prayer you get an immediate answer like that. But I was just convinced that God was directing me. And I told him that. And he said to me, well, pray about it and ask God for confirmation. So on the train back to my dad's house where I was staying at the time, I remember praying, just quickly I said, God, give me confirmation that this is what you want me to do. I was already convinced it was, but I figured, okay, this guy's told me to do it. So I asked for confirmation. Anyway, I get home, and my sister had visited and seen my dad, and must have been around the time of my birthday, because she'd actually left a birthday present there for me. And I opened up the present, and it was a like a big travel bag. And as soon as I saw it, I just felt inside me like God said, "Pack your bags, you're going." And that was my confirmation. Yeah, so it was pretty amazing. And I guess out of all that, I just want to share that, God is there and He cares for us. And if we really want to, if we really want direction in our lives, He wants to guide us. And particularly, I think whenever you reach a major crossroad in your life, where there's an important decision to make about which way you're going to go. And it was just amazing, again, just to see God, the creator of the universe, just interact with one of His creation like that. So yeah, that was really cool.